Looking back 20 years, a big building company 20 years ago, how would it differ in terms of how it operated from a big building company today?
There's really no comparison. It's like comparing the first calculator to today's laptops. It's a world of difference between size and capital structure, product diversity, geographic diversity, management, professionalism, and development. They're just two different worlds, two different animals.
1985 is a long time ago. There were about 150,000 participants, none of them doing much more than about 1,200 homes. Today, you've got how many? Fortune 500, Fortune 300, a couple that are approaching Fortune 100 if they haven't already made it. And we now have an industry. It's new and already mature, 20 quick years.
Access to capital, the ability to bring Wall Street capital to the business and have long-term financing to finance long-term projects has really revolutionized the whole home building industry.
10 years ago, we were primarily an entry-level home builder. Today, we do it all. We have $2 million single-family homes, $2 million townhouses, $2 million high-rises or mid-rises, urban infill, active adult, you name it, we do it. We are much, much more diversified.
I guess the first big difference is the geographic diversity that these companies have. We're obviously not subject to any one local market economy, and I believe all housing markets are driven by local economics.
There was a paradigm shift to grow the business outside one's backyard.
In 1994-95, we strategically decided and firmly decided that we wanted to get into at least 10 markets. We ended up in 2 years being in 17 markets, which is where we've stayed.
Another big change for all the big builders is the fact that we're very professionally managed, and what I mean by that is we're working on things like return on invested capital, vertical integration, supply chain management, sourcing products from unique manufacturers. All these things are areas of business in general that would have been worked on by many companies 10, 20, 30 years ago, but it's really just now getting into the building industry.
Do you think there's a limit to how much market share the big companies can get?
I think there's some natural limit to what the large public builders can grow, but I think it's an awful long way from here.
I think in 10 years you're going to see the top 100 nationwide having a 50% or better market penetration.
Many, many years from now we'll be talking about this same thing, wondering how far we can grow. I think there's a long runway out ahead of us.
There's pluses and minuses to acquisitions, but clearly acquisitions have been a viable way of rapidly adding mass.
There is a benefit as you get larger in being able to have a broader base of investors.
We look first at what markets we want to be in, and then we find a company where we think there's a cultural fit.
That has become a core competency for our company and an important part of our growth formula going forward. This bubble rhetoric and concern is nothing but just that.
All you're doing is trying to look at the demand and supply that demand. The ones who do that the best in a downturn will continue to survive.
And while there may be slowdowns, that doesn't mean there's going to be a national collapse or a major price decline, and that the home builders, just like any industry which can occur obstacles or bumps, will continue through those obstacles and bumps and continue to grow over the medium and long term.
I think some of the fear on Wall Street is that some of these companies are going to have an incredibly tough time, and I think most public builders would tell you they may see their earnings growth rate slow down, but not to the degree that some investors have priced into our shares. So what J.D. Power has done is really kind of level the playing field and said, on an objective set of criteria, here's what consumers across the country are saying, market by market. I think it's a huge influence, And as the large builders continue to build their national brand name, as they continue to consolidate market share, an even bigger and bigger influence in the industry.
Most of us include customer satisfaction right up front in our sales presentations. We set expectations where maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago we weren't too focused on the long-term experience.
J.D. Powers woke us up, but we're wide awake now and we're running faster than J.D. Powers is pushing us.
It is not necessarily a stated strategy of ours to be more vertically integrated. It is a stated strategy of ours to help control the building process and to help ensure that we get crews to job sites on time and can meet the delivery needs that we have.
The larger builders will have the ability to improve the entire process from sales through warranty, including construction.
I think you are seeing that vertical integration today. I think you are seeing builders of scale purchasing components, lighting fixtures, etc., in China and warehousing and distributing components ourselves.
I think there will be a great deal of vertical integration. I just don't believe that the home builders are the ones who necessarily are going to do it.
One thing that will never change is I think for anybody in the industry there's a tremendous amount of satisfaction in delivering a home to a family.
I tell people in our company we're not selling milk here. We are putting people in homes, and it's part of the American dream. I don't think we should ever lose sight of that.
I don't think that anybody who takes this 167,000 pieces and putting them together in the middle of a field, even if they're panelized, even if they're even flow directed, is ever going to be able to get away from the challenging, intriguing entrepreneurial aspects of what we're doing.
Are there things about the home building industry that will never change?
No, I'd have to say everything is up to change over time.